We're going to check in with Tyler's district of TxDOT here, the Public Information Officer, Jeff Williford, should be joining us here in just a bit. Who is joining us right now is Blake Holland. Blake, yes, absolutely. How was your drive into work this morning?
It wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Now, we don't live very far from the TV station here in downtown, so, you know, if we had to make a very far drive in, probably wouldn't have
been
done
a little different.
Yeah. But it wasn't too bad, and that really is the credit to we drove on treated roads.
Right.
We stayed on main roads.
Absolutely.
And roads that were treated. So as you mentioned, Jeff Williford from TxDOT's Tyler District joining us again this morning. He has become a very familiar face over the past few days as we've been getting ready for this winter weather event. And now that we're in it, we want to get an update from Jeff on exactly what's happening in the TxDOT Tyler District. So Jeff, about 10 o'clock Monday morning, your guys have been on the roads all night long throughout the morning. What is the latest when it comes to the TxDOT Tyler District?
Yeah, they have been since Friday. You know, they started early, continued to work. I know there was the press release I sent out said, you know, working 24-hour shifts. They're working 12-hour shifts, but continuing operations for 24 hours. So yeah, they've done a good job. We were prepared, you know, seeing the forecast in advance. But you know, right now we know that the temperatures today are not going to get above freezing, and so those crews that are on duty now are continuing to treat those trouble spots. We just continue to encourage people, if you don't have to get out, stay home. If you do get out on the roadways, please use extreme caution, because there's been reports of wrecks and things like that, slide off the roads, stuff like that, usually is because of speed is a factor. So again, just please use extreme caution when you get out. You know, no roadways are closed throughout the district, so that's a good sign. Again, we're treating bridges and overpasses because those are usually tricky spots. And so I know in Smith County yesterday, and also in Rusk County, there were some reports of black ice, which is the thin layer of ice that it's really hard to see. And so that's a dangerous combination when speed and you're driving too fast or not paying attention or following too close with other cars. And so again, just be aware of what's going on out there and do all you can to stay safe. We also had got an email saying that Abilene District, the TxDOT Abilene District, has sent some crews out. They're helping in Smith County as well as in Gregg County. So that's really cool to see. You know, TxDOT's one big family, and they're helping out when they can.
Excellent. And Jeff, one resource that we talk a lot about, and you can see it there on your background there for this Zoom interview, drivetexas.org. You and I were talking about this last week. I've been following along with this throughout the evening yesterday, throughout the night, throughout the morning. And when you look at our area, when you look at East Texas as a whole, and then specifically TxDOT's Tyler District, you see those little ice symbols, the little snowflakes all across the map. And those indicate where your guys have laid eyes or driven across an icy spot. Is that right?
Yeah, that's where they you know, there's either ice on the road, areas that we've seen. They have gotten eyes on that. Most of those roadways or bridges or overpasses are being treated and will continue to be. Again, with this sub-zero or sub-freezing temperatures, makes it very difficult. But we use, you know, de-icing agents. We use granular materials, sand, crushed rock, things like that can help with traction. But even with those precautions, we still encourage people to stay home if you can. But yeah, sorry, and yeah, Drive Texas is it's a very good place to go. It's used throughout the state. Like I said, our maintenance crews are the ones who update that, and so it's a very good resource to have.
Excellent. And Jeff, looking into the next few days, obviously by Wednesday we do expect to get above freezing during the daytime. We'll drop right back down below freezing in the nighttime. But as far as, you know, what resources look like for you guys, who you have on standby, how long the trucks will be out there, not only monitoring the road conditions, but laying down that de-icing solution, maybe some granular material, how long will you guys be doing that?
As far as the schedule right now, we'll continue through Wednesday. It won't just stop when the temperatures rise. We do, after these events, we do have to clean up roadways, sweep them where necessary from any extra material that's lying around or on roads. One of the big things people have to remember is that potholes can form during these winter events when the asphalt gets too cold. And so the next few weeks, we'll probably be doing a lot of asphalt repair with potholes and things like that. There's also tree branches and limbs that will come down during this event. So people need to be aware of that. They could be in roadways. Our crews, again, are out 24 hours looking for those things. So they're doing the best they can to get it cleared. So yeah, just pay attention, and our guys are still working hard. We actually opened our EOC, our Emergency Operations Center, yesterday. We have staff that is there at the Tyler District, taking calls from maintenance crews, giving updates to them, making sure there's not any unmet needs and that they can help with. That's just something we do during these events to just make sure communication's always there, always open. And so that's been going on. So a big shout out to all of our guys that and gals that are continuing to work throughout this time. It's definitely tough. It's cold out there. We want to make sure if you are on the roadways and you see our trucks, please slow down, give them room. There's been reports throughout the state that there's been some incidents with our trucks that are out working, and motorists getting a little too close or even running into them. And so that's something important to pay attention to.
And you mentioned that right there. We did get a report from Deep East Texas. I believe it came in this morning that one of the TxDOT trucks was struck by someone who was out there, maybe a little headstrong driver going a little too fast. So it's an important reminder when you see those trucks out and they're going to stay out, give them some room, back off for many reasons. One being the potential for a crash, colliding in with one of those trucks, maybe hurting a TxDOT worker, hurting yourself or the people in the car with you, but also the fact that you guys are laying a material down on the road, and especially if you're going to be laying that granular type material to help drivers gain traction, you want to have a good distance between you and the truck while that stuff makes it to the ground, not back in your windshield or anything. And talking about those things that you guys do put on the road, primarily now that we're now in the event, we are below freezing and we're going to stay below freezing. Do you guys focus more on laying that de-icer, that brine solution that lowers the temperature of freezing, or do you focus more on the sand, the gravel, the granular stuff?
A mixture of both. We do tend to focus, though, especially with these temperatures being so low, with the granular, the crushed limestone, things like that. That does help with traction. Now there is some de-icing material that is used to help start that process of de-icing. But again, with the temperature so low, we want to make sure that we're doing what we can for those motors that are out to have traction. So yeah, that's kind of a mix, but right now we're really focusing on the granular material, especially on bridges and overpasses.
All right, Jeff Williford with TxDOT's Tyler District. Jeff, anything we're missing here that you want to mention before we wrap up this update?
No, I think thanks again for covering this. I know we do our best to make sure roadways are passable. That's one thing to keep in mind, is that with the treatments we're doing, with the things that we're doing, the roadways are not like normal on a 75-degree day. We do all we can to make them passable for those motorists that are out there. So again, just keep that in mind, that things can still get icy, they can get slick. Watch your speed if you have to get out. Do everything you can to drive with caution.
All right, Jeff Williford, our thanks to you, and we'll keep checking back with you throughout the day and throughout the next few days for the very latest. Appreciate you, Jeff.
Thank y'all.
All right, so there you have it. Jeff Williford with TxDOT's Tyler District joining us live this morning on East Texas Now. We've been talking with him since late last week, really the middle of last week,
right,
leading up to this event, because while they are very busy right now, the planning for this starts long before the event actually
yeah.
happens. And it started long before last week even, ahead of these winter weather events, ahead of each season where there is the potential for different kinds of extremes. They already have a plan in place ready to go. And so we'll keep checking in with Jeff Williford with TxDOT's Tyler District, who at last check was also covering for the Atlanta District, which kind of covers the eastern part of our viewing area, including Marshall and Carthage, Atlanta, Texarkana. And so he's just keeping us up to date on what's going on. The good news is there, you heard no closures of any major roads that TxDOT maintains, and that is good news. They continue to keep an eye on the conditions, treat them, but the advice really remains the same. If you don't have to be out, they really would like you to stay home, because the less people on the roads, the less people to bump into each other if you do hit a slick spot, and it also gives first responders and TxDOT crews plenty of room to do what they have to do. They don't have a choice.
Oh yeah, and you know, no major road closures is really just a testament in part to their planning, right, and being able to start right after that rain on Friday and continuously, like clockwork, continuing to lay that brine solution to help all of us out that have to be on the roads.
Exactly.
But if you don't have to, just curl up. Watch us.
Yes.
Right here on East Texas Now, KLTV. It's on, you know, in the comfort of your own home.
Yes, we'll keep you cozy.
Absolutely, Blake. Thanks for stopping by and getting us the latest.